So hi Mikolas.
Hello Tatiana, what's up?
Oh, I'm so happy that you went to the finals, and it was the first time you performed it before such an audience. Did it really distract you that there was so many people screaming and cheering, or was it like a helping factor and you felt boost?
Good question. For me, it was the second option actually, because I felt like there were too many rehearsals actually, and whenever there are people that you're performing and that you can feel the vibe from, I finally enjoyed it. So yes, and I have to say that this was actually not the biggest crowd. It definitely looked the biggest, but when we went over to Israel, there were nearly like 30,000 people, and for me I just couldn't shake that. I went on stage, and when people cheer in a crowd like that, I stood on the podium and I felt like it vibrating. I was like, man, that was a lesson for me. So this one actually, after Israel, yeah, it was not so bad.
But of many competitors, you looked very confident actually. How did
Thank
you
you.
manage to do that?
I don't know. Really, I think it's because of all the experience that I have from the past. That now, when I walk on stage and there are people waiting in an arena, and you raise your hands like this, and they go, wow. It's just something that I've been waiting for, and I was talking about this with Christoph before I went on stage in Ukraine. I was getting nervous, I was getting shivers and stuff, and he was like, dude, this is what you wanted, and this is what you dreamed of, so go and fucking enjoy it. And I even told him, yeah, I should listen to your advice, and I do it every single time now, and it really feels like the thing that I should do, so I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm happy that it felt that way.
And you've changed the number quite a lot, right? You had to. So what
Yeah.
was the hardest part? Concentrating on the new choreography, or vocals, or looking at the cameras?
Well, honestly, now that I performed it like for real, every time there was a rehearsal, I was always checking, okay, now I'm looking at this camera, that camera, doing this dance move, and that, But now I kind of switched off. If there was something left in my memory to remember, I did it, but if there wasn't, I just didn't bother. So I just tried to feel it, do it as naturally as possible, and I think perhaps that's why it worked, so I'm gonna keep it that way.
And it looked very natural. And
Thank
though
you.
at first, like everybody said that you would be, through to the finals, later on it wasn't so 100% sure. So how did you feel closer to coming out?
Well, that was funny because, I injured my back, and then we watched the odds check, and everything, and suddenly, like, from the second or third place, it went down to like 8th.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm coming back, don't worry. And yeah, it felt great. It really like, being selected. I think that if we were not selected for the finals, it would be a big disappointment, because everybody predicted or kind of hoped that we would do it. So I'm happy that we did it, and now it's only now there's like no pressure or anything. So now it's only like joyride for me. So yeah.
But you knew you were going to do the difficult trick, so did your team actually have this kind of, let's say plan B option if something happens and you would have to change the number?
I was actually the one creating the performance with the choreographer. I got the guys, I got the backing vocalists, and together as a team with the Czech TV, we did not have a single other plan. This was the thing that we practiced. That was the thing that we wanted to do, and then when it didn't work out, I was super surprised how fast our choreographer Angie managed to come up with different versions. One was only me standing, if that would be like the super worst option. Yeah. And then there were some, there was another one in which there was a little bit of dancing, but I was like, okay, let's please stick to the old one. We already have the camera shots and everything, so let's just see how it goes, and I'm gonna give it my best. So
okay.
Yeah.
And now that you've seen many other acts and different staging, did it also inspire you to do something in the future? Because I know you direct your own videos, so you might have got a lot of inspiration from the others.
Yeah, you're asking really good questions, by the way. Like, yeah, I am like that. Yesterday, sitting on the sofa watching others, it always does inspire you. And I even came up with some like new ideas how we could probably like change the performance a little bit. But man. I think that I should stick to what we have and perfect it even more. So changing it now drastically would just, I think, be of damage. Yeah.
Of course, but that's still an inspiration for your future work.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And is it still sure? Is it sure now that you're going to the US afterwards, or are you still
sure,
like?
Yeah, it is. Sure. I can confirm
okay.
that. Yeah. I can confirm that. Yeah. I'm going back home actually to do some songwriting and have a few sessions, get ready fly over and then work. So yeah.
I believe a lot of other countries will also be offering you to, collaborate with them. Do you see yourself maybe living in another country, let's say Sweden or something, as their production centers?
Yeah, I do. And as a musician, you kind of have to get used to that and live with that. Because you're constantly traveling, you're constantly on tour, you're constantly living in tour buses and stuff. And I don't mind it, honestly. Like, I've been living like this for a while and I kind of enjoy it, I would say. There are some, like, at times I'm like, man, I would really like to settle down, somewhere and just like have that as a base. And I think like after time, every producer, every artist like comes to this stage. But I think there are a few years ahead of me where I'll just be traveling around. So yeah.
I also know that you're very open to your fans and you have a lot of meet and greets and so on. And then sometimes I think to myself, but there are a lot of inadequate fans that can stalk you or stop all the time at your hotel and to wait for you to appear. Aren't you afraid to be stalked?
I was just writing about this on my Instagram today because 6 months ago there was nobody wrote me a message, nobody sent a like.
You're like, please somebody give me a like.
Yeah, I was counting my phone. I was like, oh my god, 2 less today. Oh my god, what am I doing wrong? Why is my life like this? And
I've taken a model picture. Where is everybody like?
Yeah, and now even the fact that people are stalking, like not stalking, it's just you arrive at a hotel in Madrid and people wait there for you. It's a dream come true. It's nothing that you would go like. Definitely not, especially like after working for so long to get to this state. So no, I welcome it, and I think that I have the coolest fans in the world. So no, they're cool.
And if we go back, let's say a year before now, let's say two, a couple of years when you were a still performer. Yeah. If somebody told you would be in the final of the Eurovision, what would be your thoughts?
I always, the reason I think that I used to be very unhappy in the past was because I was at a stage and I always imagined myself being already in a different stage, So if you would tell me that, I would probably go like, yeah, I think it's possible. I think I could do that, but I was not there yet. If you told me now, could you imagine that one day you'll be sitting at the Grammys? I could tell you yes, I can, and I hope that I will. So
you're ambitious.
I am very ambitious, and I know where I want to go, and I will get there no matter what. So yeah, no, it's the way it's always been. I've been born like this. I don't know if it's a curse or a blessing, but sometimes both. but yeah, that's what the dream is, and hopefully it's going to end up this way.
Great. I think it's a perfect ending to the interview, and you can say hi to Blogovision.
Okay, what up, Blogovision? It's Mikolas Josef. Thanks for the great questions, and shout out to you, Tatjana, because you make them.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, enjoy your time in Lisbon, and see you in the finals.
Great luck to you in the finals.
Thank you.